here with Barry McGibbon of Barry McGibbon Logging. And Barry, you're kind of responsible for this site. And the first thing I'd like to tell you is, just driving around here, it amazes me that this has actually been logged, because it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's a lot different than some of the work sites you see in the countryside, for sure. This is managed through the SFL company in Bancroft, and they have a prescription, a forester that goes through and writes a prescription, and then they come in and mark the timber, and then we come in and lay our trails out and start our cutting procedure. So. And
how do you go about laying out the trails?
I guess basically it's just logging 101. You want a straight path to the back of your cut, and a trail that will bring you out of the woodlot without scuffing trees or eroding dirt into creeks and waterways, that type of thing. So.
And I hear there's a term called damage criteria. What's that mean?
Bottom line, it's the damage that you leave on the ground and on the trees, and it's 15% of the trees that are left. You can't exceed that. 10% in AGS, which is acceptable growing stock, and I think 15% in your unacceptable growing stock. So it's actually quite a large margin or a big area to work in, and it's not hard to meet that criteria if you work at it.
And you're pretty close to having a wrap on this site, aren't you?
Yes, basically we're only probably a day or two away, and got a few cleanup jobs, some hand cutting or hand felling of trees, and we'll be pretty much done. So.
And one of the things I was asking Gord about is I was looking through the bush and seeing a lot of just piles of small branches and stuff, and I was saying to him, "Do you clean that up?" And he said, No,
that's our down and woody debris, and I always compare logging like an infant. You have a stage where you have a newborn, and it's messy for maybe a year, and then after that they have a whole life ahead that you don't have to deal with that. And the forest is something similar. You have a mess for a year or two, and then then
it breaks down.
It breaks down, and it's gone. Yeah, and it goes back into the earth. So.
Well, good. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. And as I say, the site doesn't look like it's been touched much.
No, for sure. It's beautiful. It'll be a nice place to be back in 20, 25 years. So.
Anyway, thanks for taking the time.
Take care.
So behind us, you're going to see a fairly large piece of equipment called the skidder. Gord, what's he up to?
Well, the buncher, the felling machine has put these trees on the ground, and Mr. Crawford, Jake Crawford from Lamab, has worked for Barry McGibbon. He's running a grapple skidder, and he's bringing these trees out towards the landing. So we have two types of skidders we use here. We use a line skidder, which has a cable on it, and what we call chokers. But this particular piece of machinery is called a grapple skidder, and they work in conjunction with the bunchers, because the buncher can lay the timber down for them a little bit better. So you'll see that he's got quite a 3 or 4 trees on there, and he's going to pick up another one. The slasher, you saw the skidder. He brings the trees to a landing area where we can get our trucks to it. Now, this gentleman here is processing this. Each log has a different quality. It could be firewood, it could be pulpwood, or it could be top-grade hardwood logs that he's cutting out of this. The truck in the background is loading logs right off of this pile. And these guys are finishing up in here, and this is what we kind of call hot logging, because we want to get done in here before spring and the spring freshet starts. Here we have Kevin Fraser picking up a load of logs, which is going to Freeman Lumber. Kevin's an independent truck driver, and as you can see by the size of the trucks, we need quite a road system. Now this landing here, or set-out area, was put across the snowmobile trail. We thought that it was safer for the truck to be crossing the snowmobile trail than the skidder, periodically. So this is why we put this landing or set-out area in here, and they've kept it to a required small distance. We don't want to cut the whole bush down so he can turn around, but he managed to get her turned around in there, and he's putting a load of logs on now.